I'll try not to take up too much time. This is such a vast topic and there's so much to say. And I'm very happy to be here and delighted with all the learning. So namaste. I'm honored to be here on behalf of FLOW, which is the women's wing of FICCI, the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm the 37th national president, and I'm also the first FLOW president from India's Northeast. That is why being here for the Bangladesh-Indian relationship discussion was very close to my heart. With all the expertise and experience that my fellow panelists bring to the table, let me just concentrate on the women's perspective. Today, when we're talking on the new dimensions and opportunities possible. It's ironic, I was thinking that this year, 2020, it marks 25 years since the adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, which had declared the most progressive blueprint for advancing women's rights. But this year, the unseen enemy has brought the world to its knees and to a grinding halt. So each and every one I know have been impacted, but this unprecedented crisis has hit women the hardest. This has reversed the limited growth that the world had made on gender equality and women's rights. Now, if you look at the UN Women's Report this year, women contribute to 37% of the global GDP. And 527 million women work in the 4 hardest hit sectors: accommodation and food services, real estate, business and administrative activities. These are all unsuitable for remote working. Women make up the larger percentage of the health and social care workers, the professions whose representatives today are on the front line fighting this pandemic. Yet the global gender gap has been stuck at 16%, leaving women more vulnerable than ever to the economic downturn and the first to lose the job, first to lose a livelihood. Domestic violence has also increased by upwards of 25% as a result of the lockdowns. Access to resources have become disproportionate. And digital inclusion too is not gender balanced. And this crisis will worsen economic loss, including $160 trillion loss in wealth globally due to the gender earning gap. Therefore, from immediate relief efforts in the world, and very relevant to our 2 countries today, discussing India and Bangladesh, that all sectors of society have a responsibility to ensure that actions taken to combat the COVID-19, they are responsive to the unique and unequal impact it's having on women. So let's talk about entrepreneurship. That I think could have been, we are talking about nano entrepreneurship here, which is, both our 2 countries which are so relevant, that women are in the informal sector and they are nano entrepreneurs in their own right, yet unrecognized and unacknowledged. We're looking at the formal sector economy. The MasterCard survey for the last 4 years has shown, given vital insights into the enablers and constraints of women's progress. So we find that women as business leaders across 58 world economies, representing nearly 80% of the world's female labor force. It shows that India is ranked 49th in the world, Bangladesh ranks 58th in the world in the MasterCard Index of World Entrepreneurs. But both our countries need to support networks for women in startups. We need greater representation of women in leadership. We need girls who are taught from a young age entrepreneurial skills. These are all critical components on furthering women's success and being a participative partner in the economy. So this is the need of the hour. And as a business chamber, as FLOW, the women's wing of FICCI, we've constantly worked towards the goal of inclusive growth. And this has been our focus, to take the role of women along. This year, my mission has been to focus on sustainable practices and sustainable livelihoods for women's economic empowerment, because only economic empowerment can lead to an equitable society. And tourism is one such sustainable livelihood model, which is evident to both our countries. And as a practitioner of tourism myself for the last 3 decades, we know that this will be the way forward. And our governments have taken cognizance, and many speakers have already spoken about the importance of tourism, so I won't go into it. But I can say that since the 3 decades that we've been working as entrepreneurs, that it is women who've been in the foreground, who've been the informally part of the value chain of tourism, but they've never been monetized. So in my work in Flow this year, we've made it a point to have a relationship with the Government of India Ministry of Tourism, where we are seeking to train women in the SOPs, in the new guidelines, in helping them to be certified, to be able to take on, say, even at the rural level, the rural homestays, to reviving the arts and crafts, to work towards the arts and the culture, the rural development of the area they come from. I'm speaking about this because it is so similar for both our countries. When this year, the World Tourism Day was marked as the World Day for Tourism and Rural Development, it all falls into place. So tourism is that industry which impacts both our countries and both our peoples. And we know that opening up the road connectivity between our two countries will be the best way forward. We know till now that the flights have not been introduced from Guwahati back to Bangladesh. It is there from Calcutta. We hope that is going to happen with our governments in place. And for us in the long distance river cruising, which we started in 2003, ours was the first ship to sail through Bangladesh from West Bengal through Bangladesh into Assam, and passenger travel was not allowed. And now finally, with the memorandum of understanding between our two countries, I think in 2 years ago, we are poised to carry passenger cruise travel through Bangladesh from India. And that we know will lead to more exchanges and more closer work together, which will help the economy and women of both our countries. So we think that going back to this ecosystem that we come from in Eastern India and Bangladesh, sustainability should be key to whatever we do. In our agriculture, in our handloom handicrafts, in our tourism, in our food, cuisine, these are all facets of tourism, which all of us can work together and please to see that the women's voice is heard and the women get that helping hand to create a level, equal playing field for them to ensure the prosperity and the growth of both our countries. That is what I would like to leave behind. And today I want to congratulate Bangladesh on the eve of this very important day. And we know that your country and your country women have been the strongest in supporting each other. And we want to, on behalf of Flo, the Women's Wing of FICCI, thank you once again for giving us an opportunity to talk. And I know that I'll leave you with one thought, that this year, I'm very keen to start a Women of 7 regions that is talking and making a collaborative for women globally to work together on trade and commerce with Flo and Bangladesh and the other countries that we have been talking to. So this, I know, will be a way forward, and I will leave you with that thought. Thank you very much. Namaste.